Hi guys, Steve up at the property, and today we're going to build a stump burner. Got the stump right here. And as you can see, it's too close to the road. You could see where, maybe if there was some snow or ice on the road, you could slide off, hit that, get a flat tire. It's a nuisance. It's got to go. I cut it pretty far down low, and I figured what was left I can get rid of. I don't need to take out the whole stump. A thought was rent a mini excavator. A mini excavator to rent is kind of expensive, and I only have like 2 or 3, maybe 4 stumps that are big enough and are close enough to the road that are problematic for me. So the way I figured is the best way to take care of them is to burn them out. The last video was the using it as a burn barrel to get rid of some of the brush pile I had built up. I have 2 more. I'm going to make one today to burn that stump out. And basically it's just cutting the bottom. The top is already open. Make some breathe holes and make a box towards the bottom so you could use the leaf blower to stoke up the fire if it starts to die out. I'm going to place it over the stump and burn it. Now the steps we're going to use is step 1. I already got out some of my tools. We're going to rake the leaves out of the way. We're going to rake out the leaves just to prevent anything from catching fire. Everything is wet, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. We're going to do it anyway. Then we're going to drill some holes. I got a 1-inch drill bit from Harbor Freight. Probably like 4 holes or so. I'm going to drill it pretty good and deep as far as the bits will go. We're going to fill them up with gasoline. Let it soak up, let the stump soak up the gas real good. Then we're going to build, some sticks and cardboard and stuff on top of the stump. Light it just to get the fire going. Then we're going to place the barrel over it and start throwing. You can see a million down trees here. I'm just going to start picking up some of these branches and stuff and throwing it in there. Now, unfortunately, everything is wet, so that might be a little problematic. But I got a bunch of newspaper, cardboard, gasoline. We'll get a fire going, and the goal is to get that stump down to where it's level with the ground. After I rake it, I got my shovel and my big crowbar, and we're going to try to dig and expose as much of the stump as possible so it could burn down. And after it's all burnt up, we'll fill in with the dirt that we dig out. I doubt that we'll burn it so much that it'll go down below grade too far, but we'll smooth it out. And the goal is to get it flat, so in case we run off the road, we hit it, we don't hit anything. All right, let's get to raking. Okay, I just want to show you what we're looking at here. We got this large root, but I'll probably just get the stump in the middle of the barrel and see where it crosses the root, and then cut that with the chainsaw so the barrel is down to the ground down against the ground as much as possible. What you're seeing here is me getting frustrated. This really is not dirt or soil. It's rock. This is, I'm not gonna, I just can't dig it all out. All right, so right now let's drill some holes in it, pour some gasoline in it. Okay, I got these Bauer hex shaft quick start 7 wood auger drill bit set. Again, from Harbor Freight. Can't remember what I paid, but I'll put the link to this and the price I paid in the description. Another thing to note, I cut this tree down, say probably spring, not springtime, I'm gonna say mid to late summer. So maybe like, August. So you're only looking at 6 months, and this thing is wet. So it's not going to be conducive to burning, hence the drilling and the gasoline. All right, let's fill this thing up with gasoline. Go get the drum, make the drum. I haven't even made the burn barrel yet. That's the next part of the video. Okay, guys. One of my previous videos might have been last week. We made the burn barrel by punching the holes in it and cutting a box towards the bottom as an opening for the leaf blower to get the fire going again. But we didn't cut out the bottom. In the burn barrel, I left the bottom in to hold in the ashes. Here we got to cut the barrel, the bottom open, so we can put it over the stump and burn the stump. Using the same tools, got a cordless drill, got this step bit I got from Harbor Freight, which isn't the best in the world. It more or less, once it gets through, it more or less pushes the hole open as opposed to cutting. And I got the MIlwaukee Sawzall heavy duty thick metal torch. I'll put the links to both in the description. Boy, was that loud. We got a hole. Now we gotta cut the breathing holes and that big hole for the leaf blower. Now when we made the burn barrel, I cut the holes, the breathing holes too low. So when the ash filled up, it was only a couple hours, it filled up almost to the level where the air breathe holes were. So I'm gonna cut them more like towards the middle of the barrel. The hole for the leaf blower's got to be lower. There's nothing I can do about that. First one I did was up here. That was too high. Right in the middle, I think is a good idea. All right. Cut a box for the bottom. I think we'll make the bottom of the box right here. That worked. That went a lot easier. This is not very pretty, but it's meant just to do the job. Watch your hands on it. There are a lot of sharp edges. We're going to bring this over to the stump, drop it right on top after we get the fire burning. You guys are going to laugh, but after last week's fiasco, I got this old paper bag with some crunched up newspapers on the end of this long stick because I don't want to get burned by the gas. Just figured better safe than sorry. Let's light it up. I just crumpled up some twigs, put some newspaper and some more paper bags that I had. So it should light up. Once it starts to go, I'll put the barrel on top and start throwing in some of the branches and stuff I just picked up from around here. I figured I have all this wood from cutting down those trees, and this is going to be somewhat drier, but it's unsplit, so I figured I'd split some and throw it in a burn barrel. I bought this axe. It's a Helco work from Germany, probably not from Germany, probably made in China, but I got this axe. Should have gotten them all. This seems to be taking a lot of effort, and I haven't done this in a long time. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I mean, I already split some. Not bad. What I need is a big stump to put this on top of. Yeah, this piece split good. Okay, I took all that wood I split and threw it in the burn barrel. It's Gee, I would say at minimum 3/4 of the way full. So we'll let this sit and we'll check back on it a little later. Okay, I filled that thing up with, the split wood, and wow, did it chow right through it. I just, been walking by and throwing chunks of wood in it, little branches and stuff along the driveway, of which there's plenty. And I think I'm gonna let this burn out. Very little in there. I'm gonna stoke it up a little bit with the leaf blower. Okay, I can tell you right now, it burned the stump, but not a lot. But you could see the 5 holes from where I drilled into it. And yeah, it didn't make as much progress as I thought it would. So I guess from the videos I watched, they would let this thing go for like a couple of days and constantly feeding it with wood. That would be a tremendous amount of wood, that you're burning in a 55-gallon drum for a day or two. Makes you wonder, is it worth cutting up all that firewood to get rid of this? The other option, though, is you're renting an excavator. How much does that cost? I got an endless supply of wood, and it would be good exercise just walking around picking this stuff and picking it up and tossing it in here. So the process works. It's just a little slower than I thought anyway. It's also a wet stump, so I'm sure that's a contributing factor as well. I've seen people use charcoal briquettes, like they take a couple of bags of Kingsford and throw it in there. I mean, that's a thought too. I think what I'll do is, unfortunately, I don't live here, so I can't leave this thing burning for days. And, even when I leave here, I don't want to leave this thing smoldering. So when I leave, I make sure it's out by dumping, all that water on it. But the process works, and when I do have the house built here and I could stay here for longer periods of time, I would love to just leave this thing here and just constantly feed it for a couple of days. I would get to clean up the woods by the house at least, and get rid of a stump and get some exercise in. All right, I'll let this burn a little bit longer, start cleaning up and putting things away, and we'll come back after I put this thing out, and we'll take a final look at the stump. But you can see that didn't seem to really make a whole heck of a lot of progress. The burn barrel for burning a stump does work, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of wood. But you're just looking at time and labor, effort, not a lot of money, so long as you have access to firewood to fill up the barrel. And then, you just need time and patience. And after a while, it'll be gone, it'll be down level, and it won't be a hazard anymore, at least on my driveway. I mean, the edge of the driveway is right here. All right, guys, so I'm going to put it out. We'll revisit this stump, but it's not going to be for quite a while. I'm going to wait till the house is up, and I can sit here and burn it for, whatever it takes, a couple of days. That's fine. Until then, thanks for following along with me and keeping me company today. I'll see you next week.